Welcome back. Small businesses face challenges and struggles that mid-size and large businesses sometimes don't. Access to funding and resources is key for small businesses to get off the ground, to thrive, and to survive. We were able to visit a thriving small Black-owned business and sit down with U.S. Bank to learn more about how they're simplifying the experience of starting and running a small business here in Milwaukee. Small businesses play a big role in business in the United States, creating more than half of all new jobs. Small businesses run by women and people of color sometimes face unique challenges to their success. Fortunately, U.S. Bank has a team that's dedicated to helping small businesses reach their fullest potential. Here to help us learn more are Nina Johnson, Senior Vice President, Wisconsin Branch Banking Market Leader, and Sheldon McClure, Senior Vice President, Wisconsin Business Banking Market. Thanks to both of you for being here with us and for letting us learn more about what U.S. Bank is doing to help all businesses be successful. Help us understand first, how are the needs of small businesses different from the needs of larger companies?
They have a lot of similarities, but the things that are different, I think about small businesses, they're just trying to get started out. They have a passion. They have a passion for something that they just want to continue to do. But as all of us know, when you get into business, there's more than just that passion. You have to have funding. You have to have people. You have to have marketing. There's a lot of different things. So small businesses typically struggle up front if they don't have these resources or even information up front, where I would say larger and mid-sized businesses typically have a handle or even someone running that. So I would say that's probably the primary difference between the two and where the struggles are at the beginning that most small businesses have to overcome.
It's really important then for small businesses to make sure that as they're going through the process of getting established, putting together their business plans, that they find a financial institution that really understands and is able to work with their unique needs.
I think if you can find an advisor at any bank institution that, whether they're certified or they have a proven track history of helping owners find resources. Resources are the name to the game. A lot of small business owners are able to navigate a lot simpler and easier. We're going to find bumps in the roads, but you are absolutely right when it comes to a financial institution, being a guide and being a resource, and U.S. Bank has those things, and that's what we want to make sure people understand and know.
When it comes to businesses run by women and people of color, historically, there have been some unique challenges that those businesses face. Tell us a little bit about what you've seen in your experience in terms of those unique challenges.
This is so important to what's happening. You said early on that more than 50% of people are moving into entrepreneurship. And when we think about what Sheldon just shared, that there has to be this network that's built out to help the small business owner move forward in their career, it goes beyond the purpose of, passion to, okay, the resources needed to be successful. And so in answer to your question, when we talk about women as well as populations that may not necessarily have access, one of the things that U.S. Bank is very serious about, we actually took the time to invest in 30,000 women nationwide and people of color over the last couple of years, because we know that it's really important to provide the support whenever there may be limits to what access looks like for the business owner. Certain things like knowing who your accountant should be, understanding the importance of operations management, realizing that even though you create something, you still have to have a business plan associated with it. You mentioned that before. We work closely with community development financial institutions, commonly known as CDFIs, and those institutions, along with what we do internally, help us to build a bridge for the entrepreneur. So, perfect example of a CDFI just happens to be one of the organizations that help build out what we're in right now, which is the Wisconsin Women's Business Initiative Corporation. But you've got LISC, Local Initiative Support Corporation, and other organizations that U.S. Bank partners with, and we provide dollars, grants, sponsorships, etc., to continue to help build that bridge for the new entrepreneur.
We are here at Diamond Disc International, which is one of the companies that's in this facility. Beautiful facility, great company, but you all have partnered with the owner throughout the process of building his business. What are some of the things that you've done, perhaps some of the unique services that you've offered to help him get to this point and to position him for even more growth?
I'll let my partner start off and then I'll finish off.
Okay, this is a long story that comes full circle because, you know, this is such an amazing leader. Ugo is just a staple in the Wisconsin footprint, and just knowing that U.S. Bank had an opportunity to have some type of imprint on what success looks like for this leader has just been an honor to be a part of the journey for him. But it goes back to WBIC. When I mentioned WBIC, I literally was volunteering on WBIC's loan committee and supported one of the loans that helped to move him from being an employee to an employer. And so just from that perspective to today, where Ugo's one of our most prominent customers and colleagues out in community, inviting U.S. Bank to be a part of the network that he's built out, it's just, you know, full circle by, you know, all accounts. I think that's the best way to describe it. And so just walking into the facility today and seeing the apple tree out front and just, you know, walking through the warehouse, it's just amazing how vision is happening right here in Wisconsin, and now everyone gets a chance to experience what was originally just a thought.
So Diamond Disc International, so we're a leading distributor and a wholesaler to the infrastructure industry. And we specialize in the diamond edge cutting tools. And as we've grown over the years, building relationships with some of the industries, the nation's leading infrastructure contractors, the questions become, what else? And so we've grown into other areas, handheld power tools, safety equipment. So now we really is a one-stop shop, especially for your utility contractors, road construction firms, but a lot of your infrastructure firms are seeing how we provide more value to our existing relationships all across the country. And we've been able to get our foot in the door and build these relationships. It's how do we continue to expand within those relationships and provide more value, find out the best quality tool, how do we make the best quality tool, and then we invest. It was really rewarding for me as a business owner. It was really rewarding for me as a native Milwaukeean, born and raised, to get to a point where now I'm helping out our community. I always say as an entrepreneur, don't say small business because you don't look at yourself as a small business, and look at the vision that you have. Some of the challenges are the same, whether as for other small businesses or even some of the challenges as far as other large businesses, but the difference is the obstacles that you have to go through. The difference is the access to not only the opportunities, but the resources. And I find the challenges on both sides, you know, and that's, I think, where the major difference comes. And so with U.S. Bank, they've really done an amazing job of removing, like you mentioned, removing some of those hurdles, those obstacles that unfortunately exist when diverse businesses look for access to those financial resources, because you have to have it.
Have to.
Especially when you're looking to grow, especially when you're looking to achieve your vision.
Oh yeah.
And the things that we're trying to create, the things I'm trying to create is generational change. You know, how do we impact this ecosystem that not just our business, but we're creating employment opportunities. It was very intentional for me when I moved here to this location that we had the resources to create employment opportunities in the city of Milwaukee. And again, invest in a way where this is something that's impacting our daughters, that next generation. You know, how do you have generational investment that really impacts the topography of this land, and other people really see, hey, this is what a diverse business looks like, as far as not just being, again, we're not just local, we're a national supplier, we're nationally recognized supplier of the impact that we have across the country. And as you're changing that ecosystem, you're changing the topography, now we're creating more fertile soil for other diverse businesses.
Are there other services or opportunities that small businesses can find when they're working with U.S. Bank?
So there's different programs that we provide. We just launched a new kind of a one-stop shop for payments, for example, where somebody who's just getting started, they really don't have a business owner yet, but they have payments, merchant services that are necessary to help their business move forward. We have a new solution that it makes it very simple. And within the bank overall, what we've tried to do over the course of the pandemic is try to simplify the experience of financial education, financial access, just because, you know, we don't know what the world will be like post-pandemic. We're still on the tail end of it. So from that perspective, we're continuing to evolve and pivot as necessary, to pull technology in as needed to make the small business owner a little bit more free to do the coaching if necessary versus focusing on a spreadsheet. So from that perspective, we do have some new merchant services solutions for our customers. It's in alignment with our Bank Smartly or Smart Banking solution, which we have launched on our retail side of banking, and it's full scope. So not only are people trying to bank smartly, but they're also trying to support their businesses in a new and unique fashion.
How do you know when you are successful in terms of being able to meet the needs of your small business partners? Or is that kind of an ongoing process?
We are pivoting all the time. And in fact, one of the things that we just did, which continues to move forward in business lines throughout the bank, is adding a level of talent that looks like the community that we serve. For example, our mortgage team just added appraisers who are people of color because there aren't any in certain states. Wisconsin's one. So from that perspective, we're trying to make sure that we have a coachable opportunity to train our minority talent so that they can become people in banking, per se, that can help to support areas of color. Right now, you know, that's one of the things that we're doing on the appraisal side, MLO side, mortgage loan originator side, business. I mean, we're just continuing to evolve as it pertains to making sure that talent internally looks like the external talent that we support.
When we return, we'll visit an after-school program that helps connect students to their heritage, history, and culture through music.